Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Vade, aka Pro Benchwarmer, and welcome back to another episode of Boxed Benchwarmers, the series where we discuss every incomplete archetype and Duel Links, their relative history within our meta, and what cards do they need to actually become competitive. Now, if you're enjoying this series, hit that like button and subscribe for more weekly content. I noticed that the last two videos were decks that were featured in the original Yu-Gi-Oh anime, and I wanted to continue that with this episode. As you can see on your screen, we are doing Red Eyes today. Red Eyes is an archetype that actually shaped the Duel Links meta way back in the first really good, impactful PvE event. I had to correct myself with that. When we got Super Joey, we got Red Eyes Spirit the first time, and the second time around we got Red Eyes Insight. These two cards made Red Eyes stop sitting in the card trader and actually became a hugely competitive deck in PvP. It was actually one of the first decks, aside from Taya Burn, to actually get hit on the Forbidden and Limited list by putting Spirit to 2 and putting Champion's Vigilance to 1. Now, Red Eyes at that time, we ran Balance with Red Eyes Insight as well as Cards of the Redstone to thin the deck, put a Red Eyes Spirit onto the field, and probably 1 or 2 Champion's Vigilances, and your opponent just couldn't do anything about it at that time. Red Eyes was better suited to put bigger beaters on the field than many other decks at its time could do. Not many decks can special summon and disrupt your opponent's field at the exact same time, so Red Eyes was ahead of its time when it came out and got Insight and Spirit. However, with those cards banned, the deck did move on to the zombie variant with Gazuki, Red Eyes Zombie, Beatdown, just straight up dominating PvP until we got decks that can swarm faster than Red Eyes Zombie can actually put in damage. Now, recently we got Red Eyes Spirit off of the ban list. I mean, the Forbidden and Limited list. We don't have anything like, we have a couple cards straight out banned, but it's not really like a ban list. We got Red Eyes Spirit off the Forbidden and Limited list, and Red Eyes just haven't seen any play. So that actually made me want to actually see what cards would Red Eyes need to actually be competitive in today's meta. Today's meta is a lot about disrupting your opponent and putting monsters on the field that can gain you control of the board. So let's go into what cards do Red Eyes need, and let me tell you, it's a lot. The first cards I think they need in monster support is Black Metal Dragon, Gearfried the Red Eyes Iron Knight, and Blackstone the Legend. Now, Black Metal Dragon and Gearfried the Red Eyes Iron Knight fit so well together, and Blackstone the Legend, they could just give us a one of, and it will still be really good. So Black Metal Dragon states you can target a Red Eyes monster on the field, equip this from the hand or on the field, and that monster gains 600 attack. And when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can grab a Red Eyes SpellTraps from your deck. So this card searches Insight. I don't think you want to search anything other than Insight, because this card searches Insight. That's really good. You want to equip it to any like Red Eyes monster because it just gains a little boost, which is okay at best. But other cards that you want to equip this to is Red Eyes Slash Dragon, so it gets an immediate negate, since Red Eyes Slash Dragon needs to send in a card equipped to that card to the graveyard to negate and destroy a card on the field that targets a Red Eyes, I believe. That's great. That's immediate disruption. Your opponent has to play around an immediate negate, and you grab a Red Eyes Insight from your deck, which is fantastic. It also works with the next card, Gearfried the Red Eyes Iron Knight, which states once per turn you can negate an equip card either you put on it or your opponent put on it, as well as pop another spell or trap that your opponent controls. So if your opponent equips the equip card to this, you negate that equip card plus pop their back row, which is fantastic. It's really good. And you can send in a card equipped to this card to the graveyard to special summon a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your graveyard, which is great because you can equip Black Metal Dragon to this, send it to the graveyard, and get a Red Eyes Black Dragon onto the field, and also still get a Red Eyes Insight from your deck to your hand. Is really good. It's the same level in stats as the original Gearfried the Iron Knight, except now it's dark instead of being, I believe the original is Earth. And since it's a Red Eyes name, it can be sent to the graveyard with Red Eyes Insight. So that's another thing to note. You have more Red Eyes monsters in the deck to send off insight, so it's not like you run out of the 3 red eyes, your insights are useless. So the last card is Blackstone of Legend. Blackstone of Legend, when I say this is this could be a potential one of, when you put this on the field, you tribute it and you special summon a red eyes from the deck, a red eyes black dragon from the deck. And when this card is in the graveyard, you can shuffle another red eyes black dragon into the deck to add this card back to your hand. So that next turn you can literally put it on the field and tribute for another red eyes black dragon. It just keeps recurring the red eyes black dragons onto the field, and that sounds powerful, but it's a level 7 2400 monster. We already have level 5s that are stronger than that, and you need beatdown in order to make red eyes any type of relevant and in this day and age, because a lot of decks can either just pop it on the field, do not care about red eyes when it's on the field, or just can swing over it. So like, it's not 2400 is not a benchmark that's any way, shape, or form impressive, when 2800 is the standard for mass heroes, and the standard defense for Wiz, Sage for hire, and the standard beatdown for Dyna, hero for hire. I believe it's hero for hire. So you need to hit 2800. Red eyes with beatdown hits 2700. So really, it's not like red eyes would be way too broken if it was brought back in this day and age. Red eyes slash dragon will be the 2800 in this deck. Now these monster cards are great, but they need spell and trap support in order to make them freaking tastic. I know if you guys have been watching a lot of my videos, I say fantastic a lot, but that's my favorite word. It would make this deck fantastic. So let's get into the spell and trap lineup. Alright, for the spells and traps that red eyes would need, I feel like the first card that we need to discuss, since all of these cards will be searched off red eyes insight, would be this card, Return of the Red Eyes. Red eyes insight puts a red eyes in the graveyard to search a spell or trap. Return of the Red Eyes states if you control a red eyes monster except for a red eyes black chick, because they changed the name to Black Dragon Chick, you can target one normal monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So with Insight, you already put a normal monster in the graveyard, that being Red Eyes Black Dragon. You just summon another Red Eyes card, which is Gearfried the Red Eyes Knight, or if you find a way to get Red Eyes Slash Dragon onto the field, next turn you flip this over and you don't even need Spirit anymore, because this thing revives Red Eyes itself, and it's a continuous trap rather than a normal trap in Red Eyes Spirit. So I think that that's really good. This creeps Spirit out completely, because it also gets an effect when it gets destroyed. If this card is in your possession and destroyed by your opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target one red eyes monster in your graveyard and special summon it. You can only activate each of these effects once per turn, a la Onslaught, but it's not as good as Onslaught because Onslaught banishes. So you feel me? Like, it's a good card. It's not like it's way too strong. That's what I'm trying to implement. The next card here would be Red Eyes Fusion. Fusion, summon one fusion monster that lists red eyes monster as a material from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand, deck, or field as fusion materials, and if you do, this name becomes Red Eyes Black Dragon. You cannot normal special summon the turn you activate this card. So this card is a good going first card for Red Eyes Slash Dragon, because you could use the material in the deck to get Red Eyes Slash Dragon. So this is just straight up just easy boss monster out. Like, this is the equivalent to mass change, in the sense that you don't really waste resources. You'll instantly have a warrior in the graveyard to be used as an equip when you attack with a red eyes monster once Red Eyes Slash Dragon is on the field. And you have 3 other cards in your hand, hopefully having Black Metal Dragon in your hand to put it on Red Eyes Slash Dragon when you put it on the field, so you instantly have a negate and you can grab yourself a Red Eyes Insight. And if you use Red Eyes Insight, like, this is way too many things, you can put Return of the Red Eyes on the field to get that Red Eyes that you just put in the graveyard onto the field on your opponent's turn. This is a great card for Duel Links, and it's not too strong for Duel Links. So I feel like Red Eyes Fusion is pretty okay. Now the last card I think is pretty nutty. Like, it's really crazy. It's Red Eyes Fang with Chain. This card is nuts. This says target one Red Eyes monster you control, equip this card to it, and it can attack twice. So Red Eyes Slash Dragon attacking you twice for 2800 is big banana sandwich. You feel me? This thing is crazy. If you can send this, you can send this card to the graveyard with Red Eyes Slash Dragon to negate something as well, because it is equipped to Red Eyes Slash Dragon. And you can send this card to the graveyard, target one effect monster on the field, and take that and equip the monster that was equipped to this card. You equip the effect monster to it. So you pretty much just snatch steal your opponent's monster. You can't attack with it. It becomes treated as an equipped spell. But that works well with Red Eyes Slash Dragon, giving it another negate. And that also works well with Gearfried the Red Eyes Iron Knight, because you can equip the monster to that card and then send that monster to the graveyard as an equipped spell, and bring back a Red Eyes Black Dragon from your graveyard. So that's bananas. Like that, the plays there are insane. But I feel like it might be a little too busted for Duel Links, but maybe not. I mean, you could break the Dyna lock by taking a Dyna, sending it to the graveyard. I always try to think of how relevant these cards would be in our current meta. These cards would be fantastic. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments section below. How do we improve Red Eyes, and what other archetypes do you want to see on this channel? With that being said, it's a wrap.